Stella had always trusted doctors. After all, they're supposed to heal you, help you, keep you safe. But one appointment changed everything. She remembers walking into the clinic that day, just needing a basic checkup. The sterile smell, the dim overhead lights, the hum of equipment, none of it felt out of the ordinary. But what happened next would haunt her for years. Behind that closed exam room door, a man in a white coat violated everything she thought she knew about safety. The doctor, calm, calculated, sexually assaulted her. He did it like he had done it before. Like he knew what he was doing and exactly how to hide it. She left the clinic shaking, nauseous and in shock. But she didn't stay silent. She went to the police. She submitted to the trauma of a rape kit. She did everything right. And for a moment, there was hope. The injustice begins. The test results came back. There was DNA. There was evidence. Police brought him in. They took a blood sample for comparison. And then came the gut punch. There's no match. It didn't make sense. Not to Stella. Not to the nurses. Not to the detectives. So they did it again. And again. Over a period of months. Each time, the same devastating answer. No match. Stella felt like she was falling into a black hole of self-doubt. Her friends told her to move on. The system told her to let go. But she knew what happened. And something deep inside her, some furious little ember, wouldn't burn out. The years that followed. Time passed. The world moved on. But Stella never forgot. She'd occasionally call the department, ask if there were updates, if the case was still open. Most times, she was met with polite indifference. It was like screaming into a void. And yet, every night she replayed it. Not just the assault, but the betrayal by the justice system. The gaslighting. The numbers saying she was wrong, when every cell in her body screamed she was right. Then, everything changed. The break in the case. Years later, the same doctor was arrested again. But this time, it wasn't an adult. It was a minor. He had sexually assaulted a child. And when the police searched her room, they found drugs. Traces of the same kind used in assaults. This time, he was caught red-handed. They arrested him. And for standard procedure, they drew blood. But this time, the nurse doing the blood draw paused. Something was off. The blood that came out wasn't fresh. It was dark, thick, old. Confused, they pulled blood from a different part of his body. And that's when it all came crashing down. The insane truth. The DNA from the second blood draw was a perfect match for the rape kit taken from Stella years ago. They finally figured out the unthinkable. This monster had surgically implanted a tube of someone else's blood into his own arm. Every time he'd been tested for DNA before, the nurses unknowingly drew blood from that arm, full of blood that wasn't even his. Let that sink in. He mutilated himself, had surgery, implanted a tube of foreign blood, all to manipulate the justice system and hide his crimes. It worked for years, until his own arrogance, his need to hurt again, caught up with him. The payoff. When investigators told Stella what had happened, she cried. Not just from relief, but from rage, finally validated. All those years of being doubted, of second-guessing herself, of feeling crazy, washed away in a single sentence. We got him. It was always him. The doctor was charged not just for the recent crime, but for what he did to Stella, and likely others as well. And this time, he couldn't hide behind anyone else's blood. In court, Stella stared at him as the charges were read. His face, once smug, clinical, untouchable, was twisted in fear. Confusion. Powerlessness. The same feelings he had made her feel. She didn't need to say a word. Justice said it all for her. Evil is clever, but justice doesn't forget. You can bury the truth, delay it, manipulate it, but sooner or later, it bleeds through. And when it does, it's unstoppable. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell us in the comments. Have you ever seen someone finally get the justice they deserved? And don't forget to subscribe, because we've got more jaw-dropping true crime stories coming your way. And trust me, you won't want to miss the end.